Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why this studio tour is world famous. So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Thanks, Jimmy. There's a good photo opportunity off to the right side of the tram, just past the escalator. There's an overview of Super Nintendo World. So if you haven't had a chance to go to the land yet, it looks like that. So this all started back in 1915. March 15th, 1915. That's when our founder Carl Lemley first invited the public into the studio.
We can go see Mario then today, okay?
Back
Okay, then we can go see the Mario today, okay? Oh yeah. We can go see Harry Potter. We want to go see Harry Potter.
In the 1960s, under the leadership of Chairman Lou Wasserman and Executive Jay Stein and Al Dorskin, the idea of reviving a tour studio returned when the Gray Line bus tours from Hollywood made a stop at our front gates. On July 15, 1964, the first of our red and white glamour trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour around the lot, and the world-famous Universal Studio Tour was born. Back then, we started with 2 tour guides, 2 drivers, and 1 ticket seller working out the trailer on Mike Mission Boulevard. And from there, the tour expanded with special effects like the burning house and the rock slide. And those effects were in this area back in the 1970s and 1980s. I had to memorize all that. Thank you. Today, our tour is basically going to take you through 2 different sections of the studio. We've got the back lot, which we're going to go through a little bit later. That's where we have the large exterior film sets. But we start the tour in the front lot, past offices for writers, producers, directors, and several of our sound stages. The first filming stage we're going to pass by is over on the left, stage 12, both the oldest and the largest stage here. This was built in 1928, and it's where we filmed Frankenstein. In 1931, the inside of Frankenstein's laboratory, where he built the monster, was at that stage. The same year, Dracula filmed in that stage. All of these sets had been built in stage 12. Right now, we're driving in between the front lot on the left and the theme park on the right. Right over here on the right side, this is the back of Super Nintendo World. Back in the 1960s and 1970s, this used to be a rest stop on the tour. So everybody would get off the tram, they could walk through the dressing room of Lucille Ball, or the office of Academy Award-winning costume designer Edith Head, so they could see a lot of her designs. In the 1980s, we had something here called Preview Center, which included a special effects show. We would use people from the audience to come up on stage and be actors and actresses, and they could demonstrate how special effects were done for productions. The stages that were passed by over here on the left side, we use for our Peacock series Bel Air. And these are our next 2 60th anniversary guests, 2 of the stars of the show, Jabari Banks and Ollie Charlton.
We're leaving the theme park behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. Now, well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we create any kind of environment.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination can take you, even to a palatial mansion in Bel Air.
When we film Bel Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who
Or what?
you'll see on the studio tour.
They didn't film that segment inside stage 14 over here on the left-hand side. There's one of the glamour trams driving by in the background while they were filming. Bel Air is currently on hiatus this week, so they're not filming. It's their break in between seasons. They've already shot season 3. They get a little time off before they come back for season 4. It's a show that streams on Peacock, which is a streaming service that has a lot of Universal movies and television shows. We've got another Peacock series of films here called Based on a True Story. It's with Kaylee Cuoco, who used to be on Big Bang Theory, and Chris Messina from the Mindy Project. And Based on a True Story uses the next 2 stages over here on the right, 16 and 17. And they're currently working on season 2. I have a question for you. I bring the front cover. Do you know who the statues are in front of stage 18 on the corner? You know? Who are they? They are minions, but what are their names? Bob and Stuart. Very good. Bob and Stuart are going to be in a new movie on Wednesday. Now they're coming out in Despicable Me 4. The movie is produced by Chris Melandandri, who's got production offices right behind the statue of Ted. They're talking to. And Chris Melandandri is going to tell you about these bungalows we're passing by.
In the early days of the studio, these bungalows were used as dressing rooms to the stars of Hollywood's golden age. Now, they're used as offices where some of Hollywood's top directors, writers, and producers work their magic to get a production ready, including my company, Illumination. At Illumination, we've made some of the most successful animated films in box office history, including Despicable Me, The Lorax, Secret Life of Pets, Minions, Sing, The Grinch, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. And the team is hard at work again as we launch our next film, Despicable Me 4.
Can we watch that? Is on there if you want it? Yeah.
I know you love your dada. Go on, say it.
Yes, of course he loves you. He just doesn't show it on his face or with his body language.
We've had some really good sequences in Despicable Me movies. The heist of the Honey Badger is now officially my favorite.
Carson kicau.
What it comes down to is the emotional through line, and I believe that that's why movies have stayed in people's hearts.
That's coming out on Wednesday. Behind the last office on the left side of the train, we've got two more sound stages in the front lot. One of them is used for Lopez versus Lopez, one of our NBC comedies with George and Maya Lopez. And then this last stage on the corner, 26, we're working on a new comedy series that's going to start airing this fall called St. Denis Medical. It stars David Allen Greer, Wendy McLendon Covey, and they've been doing all the interior scenes of the hospital inside the sound stages, but we're about to cross the border away from the stages in the front lot, and now we cross the border into the back lot, and they're preparing the building on the corner of the right side of the tram to be the exterior of the hospital on the show. So this is where we have the sets that are too big to go inside the sound stage. As we're passing by the set of St. Denis Medical, we're about to drive through one of the most famous sections of our backlot, Courthouse Square. And to tell you about it, I've got two people involved with the Back to the Future films. Leah Thompson, one of the stars of the film, and co-creator and producer Bob Gale.
Welcome to the Courthouse Square. These sets were used to create Hill Valley in the Back to the Future films.
And they represented multiple time periods, 1985, 1955, and the far, far distant future, 2015. To this day, this is one of the most popular sets on the Universal Studio Tour.
We had a lot of fun making those films here on the lot. I wonder what it'd be like to go back to those days. If only we had a time machine.
Everybody, do you think we can get this tram up to 88 miles per hour?
This road that we're on right now, this is the same road Marty McFly drove the time machine down at the end of the film. Right before lightning hit the clock tower at exactly 10:04, Doc Brown's time machine is parked on the sidewalk, and the City Hall building, that was the clock tower that got struck by lightning. A few times throughout the tour, our tram is going to stop just for a few moments, allowing you time to get some pictures of the set. This is going to be one of those picture stops. Lately, we've been using this part of our backlot for 3 different television shows. They've been doing a lot of scenes for Quantum Leap out here, which ran for the last 2 seasons. That's a show like Back to the Future that involves elements of time travel. So they were able to decorate our backlot to look like the 1970s and 1980s for the show. Bel Air films out here quite a bit. And our comedy series Ted with the Talking Bear. On Ted, the City Hall building is John Hancock High School, where Ted goes with his best friend John Bennett. When we leave Courthouse Square, we're going to be driving through a section of our backlot called New York Street, which can be dressed up to be different cities and different states. This is the part of the backlot where we once had a classic attraction for the studio tour, and it had been built on the corner of the left side of the tram where the movie theater is. To tell you a little bit about it, I'm going to bring up one of the stars of our 2005 version of King Kong, Jack Black.
And self-action. Did you know the Metro sets were once the home to Hollywood's biggest star? Right here is where the original studio tour King Kong attraction resided from 1986 until 2008. He stood 30 feet tall and weighed in at 13,000 pounds. Over the years, millions of guests got to meet King Kong face to face as he shook the tram. So close you could feel his hot banana breath. Is that it? That's my last line, and then the tram moves on to the next thing.
We just keep moving. Lately, we've been using New York Street for the TV show Ted. The series supposedly takes place in Boston in the 1990s, but they've been filming out on the backlot. Seth MacFarlane co-wrote and directed the two movies, Ted, Ted 2. He's very much involved with the television show. He didn't just hand it off to someone else. He's directed every episode so far. He's the voice of the Talking Bear. He produces the show. And it's just been picked up for a second season. So they're going to come back soon. They're going to start working on new episodes on the backlot. Now, heading up this hill to the next section of the backlot, we're going to be passing by a little bit of our studio tour history. And it's going to be on the right side of the tram, just beyond this big building. It's going to be the old collapsing bridge and the runaway train. Now, the collapsing bridge was a mechanical effect that the tram used to drive across. The hydraulic support beams would split, and the bridge would collapse just as the tram was driving over. The runaway train used to be in the old western town, and it would speed towards the tram, come to a screeching halt at the last possible moment. Both of these are retired effects that were built for the studio tour 50 years ago.
Now, actually,
The tunnel that we're about to drive through is the entrance to Skull Island, where King Kong lives now. This is the director of our 2005 version of King Kong, Peter Jackson, to tell you what you should expect to see.
The Universal tram
Hello.
is winding its
Ooh,
way
that's
through
cool.
a very rough, narrow
Look at these
trail
schools.
on Skull Island, allowing visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife on Skull Island.
That's
So
like
hold
that.
on to your belongings, remain seated at all times, put on your 3D glasses. We're driving right
your
into
3D glasses now.
I did.
Going to steering wheel. Hold my hand in spirit. Can you fix my phone? But they want like more lights. So how do I put the light?
I don't know.
Okay, that's okay then. I haven't recorded it. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Look at the world now. They will come to you. Careful.
Look at that one!
Just I told you, hold my hand if you are scared.
I hold on your backpack.
Good. That's why I'm not feeling you are holding me. You have fun, right?
Yeah.
Yes, good. Thank you.
I swear.
This canoe.
Once we leave the building, you should take off your pretty glasses that some of you have been wearing for a while. Don't lose the glasses if you can avoid it. Try not to drop them off the tram. You are going to need them again a little bit later for another special effect, but it's not going to be for a while. We'll let you know when it's time to put it on. So let's keep on.
You wanna your sunglasses now?
63D
No, it's okay.
largest
Is it a bit okay?
designed by director Peter Jackson.
I want your sunglasses or no?
Special effects company.
इसको पसीना पसीना होस् न.
They use some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking to create this for us. What I'm showing you on the monitors
Wow, that
is
was
a little
so
behind the
awesome,
scenes footage
Uh-huh.
of them creating this version of King
I
Kong.
was so scared I can't even look at anything anymore.
Just close your eyes.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
I'm also see this one.
And she like it so much.
You have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. One joint shot, this tram that's driving along through Skull Island.
You mean
where it
Wuju?
comes from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
यसो गरेकोले सबै यो दुखेछ.
About 50 meters
यता हातले क्या डरले
that amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
There's a little yard on the
It was so
corner
scary,
of the
but
left
it was
side
so
of the
fun.
street.
It was fun, right?
Yeah.
In this area called the Classics 5. It stars Ted Danson. It's going to be streaming on Netflix. On the show, Ted Danson goes undercover in an assisted living home. And I think that's going to be the exterior of the home on the show. That's going to be streaming soon on Netflix. They haven't given us a release date for that yet. We've also been using this part of the backlot for the last few seasons of American Ninja Warrior. They'll build obstacle courses out here in the lot. There's a mural over here on the right side of the tram that was painted by artist Tristan Eaton. This entire mural was done with spray paint. He was on a crane going up and down, just spray painting each individual color. It wasn't done for any particular movie or television show. It's just celebrating over 100 years of monster movies that have filmed on the lot. And a little bit later on the tour, we're going to be driving through the area where a lot of those classic monster movies were made. There are some sound stages over on the left side of the tram under stage 30. Very recognizable red V, what is it? The Voice. We recently finished season 25. They're already getting the stages ready for seasons 26 and 27, which they're going to be filming both seasons at the same time. In between the Voice stages and the road that we're on right now, there's a body of water that we can use for filming as a pond, a lake. If we put miniature boats out there, we can use it as an ocean. It's in this area. Back in 1973, we added a special effect to the tour, the parting of the Red Sea, inspired by the Paramount film The Ten Commandments. That's Charlton Heston on the monitors. He was the star of the movie, and he made a special appearance to part the waters. So the glamour trams can drive right through the lake, giving everybody on board a sea-level view. That was not a scene from the Ten Commandments. That was a comedy called The Nude Bomb. That was a Get Smart movie with Don Adams. The Creature from the Black Lagoon filmed out in that part of our backlot. And that's a movie that turned 70 years old this year. Released in 1954 in 3D. That movie is just part of our legacy of classic monster movies, scary films, dating back to 1923 with the original Hunchback of Notre Dame with Lon Chaney, leading up to the upcoming Dark Universe at Universal Epic Universe. And that's going to be opening in Orlando next year. This is where it all started. This part of our backlot, Little Europe, is where we made Frankenstein, Dracula, The Wolf Man, The Invisible Man, all those classic black and white films of the 30s and 40s. We have used these same sets for our comedy series, The Good Place, with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead. This location, the afterlife. I've never ever seen this. You're in this good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm going to pause this for a second. There's a set on the left side of the tram, yogurt. The umbrella fell over in front of the set. This is a scene from the first episode of The Good Place that filmed in front of the set.
I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Now, backtracking a little bit to the classic monster movies, there's a courtyard on the right. This is where we would shoot the scenes in all those movies where the big mob of angry villagers would gather with the torches and the bloodhounds. Then they would march through the village, hunting down the monsters played by Boris Karloff, Longini, Claude Rains. That was also done in Little Heroes. The house on the left side of the tram is a set. Nobody lives in that house. We currently use it for Bel Air. It's not the house where the main characters live, Will and Uncle Phil. That's the influencer's home on the show. Now, at this point, we are a little past the halfway mark of the tour. Again, I do want to remind everybody to please remain seated throughout the trip. Keep in mind, if you're taking a picture and you drop your phone off the tram, that happens a lot. You can't wait to the end of the tour to use the restroom. Pull the red cord above you, remain seated, don't jump off the tram. We want you to stay safe at all times. There's no need to put on your 3D glasses right now, even though we're going into a building. So far, all of the sets we've been passing have been our outdoor sets. Here's an example of a set built inside of a soundstage. On the left side of the tram, as soon as we pull inside, there's a chalkboard. So it looks like they're going to be shooting a heist inside the stage. They haven't told us what the production is called yet, but they dressed up the stage to look like a subway station. On the left side of the tram, there's a track that runs the whole length of the stage. They built 2 cars of a subway train, and they can roll it back and forth on that track for filming. The set is also a closed set. There's a couple signs on the floor, which means that all of the equipment is placed where they want it to be for the production. So they don't want crew members to come in and move anything because things are set up where they want it to be.
Listen the instruction and look, okay? If they say left,
we want to
left.
give you time to get some photos
Okay.
of the set. That was an earthquake. It's an earthquake! This attraction originally opened 35 years ago, back in 1989.
I got wet.
And it got a complete Hollywood makeover. So all the attractions closed.
That's on fire.
And And the attraction is based on a movie, Earthquake, which was a Universal film that starred Charlton Heston. This year, the movie turns 50 years old. It came out in November of 1974. Now that you've just experienced an earthquake, we have to calm you down. We got to take you to a peaceful part of our back lot. So we're going to bring you up the hill to a little island called Amity.
Yes, I love it.
Amity is a word that means friendship. The Amity Police Department wanted us to close the beach for a little bit. There's a billboard on the left because we had shark attacks. We've captured a shark. Right now it's hanging on display in front of the hotel on the right. And even though we caught the shark, they still don't want us to reopen the beach because there's another shark. And it's a bigger shark.
Now shark will
And we
come
haven't
to us.
captured it yet. And it's still lurking out
The
here
shark
somewhere.
over there.
Oh, there it is, right in the middle. That's a big shark.
Can you see that shark?
I see that shark, yes.
The shark?
Hey, this beach is still closed. It's where there's another shark. All right.
Oh.
The shark ate him. Yay! This is a really old dock that we're driving across. Everybody, please remain seated while we stop behind the barrels filled with acid. The shark is still underwater. It doesn't seem to be a threat to us. Oh, it's right next to us.
Are you serious? Oh my god, are you gonna see it? You stupid shark.
Scary shark come next to you.
Oh my god. I felt that. It was
That's
so
okay.
We were just attacked by a shark inspired by the Jaws, a movie that turns 50 years old next year. That came out in June of 1975. This attraction has been throwing guests at the studio since 1976. So this opened the year after.
It's all Jaws.
That's not the shark. That's Steven Spielberg used in the movie, though. Our shark works better than his. Their shark kept breaking and malfunctioning. Now we're going to see another classic attraction from the fourth. Think about it. Here's today's show co-host and weather anchor.
Was squirrel! Oh! Squirrel, guys, squirrel!
He knows how to save their life.
Yeah.
And now we are going to that.
I think it already happened just now.
Part of the back lot with a 100% chance of rain. The flash flood.
It's raining now.
We've got sprinklers hidden in the trees, and that's how we can simply create rain at any time. The problem with this special effect, we do it all day. So every time a tram stops here, it rains and the water is recycled, but the set's built on a hill. And over the course of the day, a lot of water builds at the top of the hill, and at one point it overflows, and it creates a flood. So you might want to be careful if you're sitting on the left side of the tram. There may be a flood.
Yes, I see.
If you look up at one of the monitors, I'm going to show you the special effect you can see from a family comedy, Big Fat Fire. This actor right there, that's Paul Giamatti. He was nominated for an Academy Award this year for Best Actor for his performance in The Holdovers,
Actor of the
which
year.
was a focus feature film, but it was released by a commercial. And the final Mexican village set that we're driving through right now, back in the 1980s, was used in the comedy Three Amigos, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Chevy Chase. The Paramount film Nacho Libre with Jack Black, also filmed out here. And then when we leave the
Which
Mexican
part
set,
you like the most
we
now?
cross the border into the old
That
Western
dinosaur
town.
one.
And these are the sets where we used
Right.
to do
Which
Western
part you like the
town.
most
Now
till
it's
now?
like Wayne, Jimmy
This one or the
Stewart,
dinosaur
Kirk
one?
Douglas, Clint Eastwood.
Or the shark?
Jaws is horrifying. I'm pretty sure it's Jaws.
Mine hit the ground first. Mine was taller.
These are some of the first sets that were built at the studio. Some of these date back to 1915. These were originally built for silent films. These sets are still used for productions. About 5 years ago, Quentin Tarantino had used them for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In the film, Leonardo DiCaprio's character is an actor, and he's working on a Western
Someone
TV
dropped their
show,
phone.
and they shot the Western sequences out here. There's a movie that filmed out this part of Backlot that comes out in theaters on Friday. It's a horror suspense film called Maxine, and it's the third part of a trilogy. Maxine follows the movies X and Pearl. All three of these films are written and directed by Ty West for A24 Productions. So Universal isn't the only company that makes movies on the lot. Any studio can rent our sound stages or our backlot sets. So Warner Brothers, Disney, Paramount, Fox, they all shot movies on the lot.
turning this side to top.
Maxine is going to be coming out on Friday. Right around the time we're releasing
The man
Despicable
ko
Me
yung
4, which
I
is
haven't
gonna be
noticed
coming out
that.
on Wednesday.
He's alive.
Later in July, we're going to be
Not the
releasing
recorded video ko
Twisters,
ako lang.
which Universal releases for Warner Brothers.
I thought like it's
And
a
in
recorded
November,
video.
we're going to be releasing part 1 of Wicked. Yes, so back there in this second car has pulled the emergency cord if it is a medical emergency. Can you pull the cord again? Okay, I'll be right back.
Phone जा रहे हो.
So sorry.
Thank you.
Easy fix.
There is no button.
We're going to be driving past the Jaws attraction again. We're not going to be going through the attraction. This time we're going to take another route to another section of the backlot. And Steven Spielberg, who directed the film, had a lot to do with the Jaws attraction to be built for the studio tour. So as we're going up the hill past the attraction, I'm going to have him tell you about that.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the trap. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and
Right?
myself
How's your
all
ride till now?
envisioned and created.
Hello.
I'm
Hello.
done bashing the shark. Thank you,
How's
Jaws,
your
for everything
ride
you
till
worked
now?
for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark
I got really
did work
shaky.
much better on the tour
I'm
than it
still
did
scared.
the Atlantic
What's
Ocean
gonna happen
in
next?
1974.
I don't know what's gonna happen next.
There's a set on the right side of the tram that was originally built for the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. Rob Zombie used that same house in one of his horror movies, House of a Thousand Corpses. We've got a whole neighborhood of houses on our back lot. We can use for movies and television shows, a lot of commercials film out in this area. Last week, they were doing a commercial out here for Halloween Horror Nights, which we do on the lot every year. It's going to start in September. The commercial hasn't started airing yet. We also use this area for our TV show Ted. The second house on the right side of the tram, this blue house, is where Ted lives with his best friend John Bennett. I'm going to show you a quick scene from the show involving the set, and then after I play the scene, I'm going to tell you a little secret about it.
Let the festivities
Sir,
begin.
How many we got?
what do you think what will happen next?
Fantastic.
I don't know.
Come on, Johnny, we're doing a public service. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
Now, here's the thing about that scene. It did not film inside that house. It filmed inside of a soundstage. Most of the sets we're driving by are not full buildings. They're facades. They're outer shells. They just build the fronts and the sides of the sets. They're basically empty on the inside. So as soon as you see a character walk through the front door of one of these sets, they'll cut and then they'll go inside of a soundstage. They should be indoor scenes inside the stages. Netflix had used this neighborhood for Never Have I Ever, a series created by Mindy Kaling. They shot here for 4 seasons. The main character on the show, Davey, had lived in the yellow house on the right side of the tram. The same house where Terry Hatcher's character Susan had lived on Desperate Housewives, because this street was also Wisteria Lane on that ABC Touchstone series.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
Yellow, yellow. Otra cosa que era
Although the Back to the Future movies didn't shoot out in that neighborhood, if you're fans of the films, they recognize the Alliance Estate statues. Those statues are replicas of the originals built for the movie. The originals don't exist anymore. Those were reconstructed for the first film's 30th anniversary. Steven Spielberg was one of the executive producers of Back to the Future. And right now, we're driving up Steven Spielberg Drive. And we have a long relationship working with that Academy Award-winning director. It goes all the way back to the very beginning of the studio tour.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Say they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days in the 60s on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Well, very appropriately, at the end of Steven Spielberg Drive, there's a set for one of his movies. We're going to be driving right through a crashed airplane set. This was built here for the filming of War of the Worlds, a Paramount film that Spielberg directed with Tom Cruise.
Oh.
The airplane set is perfect example of a set that is all designed around
Right in front of the airplane, on the right side of the tram, there's a set that's been a highlight on the studio tour since it first started in 1964. This is Norman Bates' home from Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, who's still considered the master of suspense. Mrs. Bates likes to sit in a rocking chair, look out of her bedroom window from the second floor, watching trams drive by. You see her up there. For the first few decades of the studio tour, one of our highlights
Oh.
was a visit to an area called Pop
You see
Plaza,
that?
where
Yes, I
guests would
see
get off
that.
the tram and they could take
Nanti
pictures
tuh
of
window
movie
master
sets,
of
vehicles
Inferno.
from production,
Lagi
and
dah
props. We brought that opportunity back for our 60th anniversary. We're coming up to step onto the lot. There's some great photo opportunities here, which you can enhance with a Universal Cinematic AR filter. This is going to be a limited stop for a limited time. When you're ready to reboard a tram, just follow the signs around. You might be getting on a different tram with a different tour guide, just in case you have all of your personal belongings with you and your 3D glasses. You're going to need those for
You have to wear the 3D glasses.
We've got some QR codes. You can scan to get some pictures. There's a great photo opportunity of the Hollywood sign that you get a picture of. So spend as much time down here as you want. Get some pictures and reboard a tram when you're ready. Have fun.
सुन्नु बाबा हलिउड साइनमा गएर पिक्चरहरू खिच्नु अरे के फेरि बोटमा चढ्नु हो 3D ग्लासेस लाउनु भने हैन भनेछ
Oh.
फोटो खिच्छु So, are you excited?
Come back. Babe, what?
Big shopping cart. You see this one? How big is this one? We can
Okay,
all.
but
Look. Yes, mailbox.
If you guys don't want any photos, you're free to keep going all the way down to Pop.
I'm here.
Fake Hollywood sign.
No, that was real.
It's a fake Hollywood sign.
For you guys.
Alright, and ready. The sunglasses line and you mirtin bag.
Is that the tram over?
Yes, look at that.
Another one.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Always.
Alright, ready guys. And 1, 2, 3. One more and 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Only for those two. Oh,
Okay, bye.
This is my by myself.
Oh my god, that's always by yourself too.
Look, bilisan, bye, stand there.
Those two.
Last photo, okay guys? 1, 2, 3.
Bye, look.
Thank you guys.
सिम रोड से दौड़ गया मैं तो वीडियो करी कौन मॉडल था पहले तीन जल अंदर इससे एक एक और फैमिली
Pas mo dan sila. Yeah. Ikaw lang bill sa take my picture.
Go, Bilisa.
Bye, come with me. Papa now na. Sorry, whole family now.
Just taking our picture in this car, right? Thank you.
Only. Come faster. किती राख्छ सबैले
Damn.
किती राख्यो विकास के साह्रो
Amma, you can't just ask someone that's acting that was acting over there.
Yes.
No, you can't just ask them. You have to ask the crew, like the directors. You can't act like the taxi. Okay, great.
हामीले रहेछ सबैभन्दा लास्ट छिटो
What is the name of this car, right?
I don't know. Zodiac next to us. Oh, he got a flat tire. Bye. No.
कति क्लासेस लगाएन
Let's go back to the tram. Oh my god, later.
सनग्लासेस लाउने प्लिज
Later.
Oh, my sunglasses.
ट्रेन जाने वाला हूँ
Come. Smiles.
Let's go to the shark one.
I want to go by myself first, then we can all play.
Always by yourself.
Yeah, but then we can go.
Are you excited to take picture, sir?
Yeah.
So hold on, okay?
Okay.
Back me now.
Yucky.
Thank you so much.
यहाँ
You
जाने
go that way, then we-
The train must not be
हामी कहाँ हो
Who cares? This one. Yeah.
Okay, we are starting to bring those gates down, so watch your sides, watch your hands, watch your feet as we lock.
I'm out of that.
Bye, swap seats with me. Bye, swap seats with me.
Hopefully you were able to get some good pictures as you're walking around. We've got some cars from the Fast and Furious films. We have a King Kong photo op, a giant shark from Jaws. We work with writer-director Jordan Peele quite a bit at Universal, and Jaws is one of his favorite movies of all time. Jordan Peele took the studio tour when he was 12 years old, obviously, before he became a famous director. This is what he remembers about the tour.
I remember going to Universal Studios when I was 12 years old, feeling this feeling of wonder. I mean, one of my first trips to Universal Studios, seeing the Jaws ride, one of my favorite movies of all time. Just feeling like that's him, that's the Jaws. But I don't even know if that is the Jaws. I hope it is. Sharing the space with Hitchcock and Spielberg, I couldn't be more proud.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
So the reason I just showed you a video with Jordan Peele, we're about to drive through the set of one of his movies over on the right side of the train. This is the entrance to Jupiter's Claim from the suspense film Nope. And as we drive through the set, I'll bring back Jordan Peele and I'll let him tell you about it.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sharing. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience, built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Oh, it's not looking so live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the beautiful hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
We just wanted to stop for a moment, giving you time to get some pictures of the set. And when we leave Jupiter's Claim, we're going to be driving through an area where we once had an attraction on the tour called the Doomed Glacier Expedition. It was better known as the Ice Tunnel. And in the 1970s, we'd used it in an episode of The $6 Million Man with Lee Majors. The episode had Andre the Giant as Bigfoot. Back then, the trams would climb to an imaginary elevation of 12,000 feet, and the only way we could get back to the theme park was by driving through the ice tunnel, where the slightest sound could create an avalanche, and that would make the walls spin, and everybody on the tram would kind of tilt along.
Oh, what do you think is going to happen?
Whenever we would drive through the ice tunnel, we would drive through very slowly, trying to prevent the avalanche. But
What do you
today
think is
we're
going to happen,
driving
Rye?
very fast, because it's now the home of the Fast and Furious
Bye.
Supercharged.
What do you think is going to happen?
So everybody, please remain seated while we're in the building. You see, we've got this villain. His name is Owen Shaw, and he's hunting down our tram because there's a witness riding on the tram that can identify him and testify against him. So they brought us in this building to hide, and there's some characters from the Fast and Furious films that are going to help keep us safe. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you sharp for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look, guys, we're going to keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here. So put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, On to the next bay. I'll meet you in
All right. They want us to move a little farther into the building. There's no need to put on your 3D glasses right now. We're just going to hide for a little bit. This works out in our favor because they brought us here to hide. There's a party going on in the building. I'm going to be back a little bit later. I'm required to get off the tram to join them. Why are you breaking? We just got here. Everybody's leaving? Nobody told us what we're supposed to be doing.
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And the where one another. Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over. You know how long I took to iron this shirt? I'm not. You're under arrest right now. Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's likely. First of all, I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cops are just clear out here, otherwise we can't guarantee you safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun. Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Escort this down this out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss. That ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't show off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate.
Short traced us. I just can't hold forever. Buddy, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, look. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Okay, it looks like they want us to go catch up with them. So now is a good time to put your 3D glasses on and get ready. According to what Dom just said, Owen Shaw's getting pretty close to finding us in here.
Oh my god. 3D glasses. Where am I in? I'm so scared. How do we get here?
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you won't get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. Come to the left. Go, Letty, hook him up.
I got to pull him out of arm!
Now we're moving.
Don't think you're getting away! Put it in the bones!
Way to go, Letty.
Don't let another missile shot!
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this.
Run up shortcut with this bridge! Under construction! Everybody take the night train!
Run and die.
And that is Fast and Furious Suicide.
You okay, Melissa? Yeah. This is
in the same place.
Are you okay?
As we leave Fast and Furious Supercharged one last time, I'm going to turn things over to the co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Over the past 6 decades, the studio tour has taken guests on an amazing behind-the-scenes look at a movie studio in a way that only Universal can. I hope that you had a great time today.
I got wet.
On behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
Thank you, Jimmy Fallon. I want to thank all of you for
We're done?
celebrating 60 years of the studio tour with us. The studio tour is where it all began
Hours.
for Universal
Easy.
Destinations and Experiences. From 2 glamour trams driving around the lot in the summer of 1964, we've now developed into so much more, including 7 parks, entertaining millions of guests every year. We've got the upcoming Universal Epic Universe that opens in Orlando next year. I want to acknowledge all the studio tour ambassadors, the drivers, all the tour guides over the years who have helped make the tour world famous, from our first 4 guides and drivers to the hundreds of team members that support the tour today. I also want to thank our past members, our annual past members, for coming back and joining us again today. If you're not a past member and you'd like to be one, stop by the Universal box office, find out how you can upgrade today's ticket into an annual pass, come back and join us again and again. If you haven't done it yet, we do recommend that you download the Universal Studios Hollywood app, because that's going to give you information on today's park hours, wait times for the rides, show times for Waterworld, mobile food ordering, and more. If you want to purchase any of the NBC Universal movies or shows we've talked about on the tour, you can visit this website up on the monitors, uphe.com, or you can ask at any of our retail stores. On behalf of our driver Al and myself, Paul, and all of us here at Universal Studios Hollywood, we hope you've enjoyed our exclusive behind-the-scenes experience. It's been 60 years in the making. Tonight, we're going to stay open until 10 o'clock. Thanks for taking the tour, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good time.
Now I have to drop that one.
Have a good day. That was so. That dinosaur one was so scary. Right.
Yeah, so this is the microphone.
Everybody,
You want to stay next to the cold thingy?
everybody, bye bye Universal Studio Tour.
Bye.
अहिले हाम्रो Universal Studio Tours को चाहिँ end हो, end video. Bye bye.
Bye.
Photo खिचौँ न यहाँ